Why would a pope, especially a brand new one, choose Turkey as his very first foreign visit? A country that is 99% Muslim, carries centuries of hostility with the Vatican, and has barely 30,000 Catholics. And why have 5 popes in a row done the exact same thing? Today, I will take you through the real story. The story almost everyone overlooks. Because on the surface, this visit makes no sense. Not politically, not demographically, not historically. Turkey isn't a Catholic stronghold. The Ottoman Empire fought Catholic powers for centuries, and the Orthodox Catholic split is one of the deepest wounds in Christian history. Yet the Vatican keeps returning to the same place, almost like there's a hidden gravitational force pulling them back. My goal is simple: to show you exactly why the Pope went to Turkey, why the move shocked historians, and what the Vatican is really trying to accomplish. No speculation, no guesswork, just the facts hidden inside 1,700 years of Christian history. Let's start with how strange the visit looked. The Pope was only 6 months into his position, and his first major international trip wasn't to Brazil, Mexico, France, or the Philippines. He chose a country where Catholics make up 0.04% of the population. And this wasn't a random exception. This is the 5th time in a row a new pope rushed to Turkey within the first year of his papacy. When something happens once, it's an event. When it happens 5 times, it's a deliberate pattern. So what are they chasing? To understand that, you've got to understand the wound they're trying to heal. The Catholic Church and the Orthodox world share a long, painful history. The Great Schism of 1054 split Christianity in half. The Council of Chalcedon in 451 deepened the divide. And the Fourth Crusade of 1204, when Catholic armies invaded and occupied Constantinople for 57 years, left a scar that shaped centuries of mistrust. Even in the final months before Constantinople fell in 1453, an Orthodox leader famously declared, "I would rather see the Turkish turban in my city than the Latin hat." That's how bitter the relationship was. So why would a pope willingly walk into the heart of all that history? Because the Vatican isn't really visiting Turkey. They're visiting Nicaea. Here's the twist. The Pope wasn't going to Ankara. He wasn't even focused on modern Istanbul. His real destination was a small town called Iznik, the ancient city of Nicaea. And Nicaea is sacred ground in Christian history. 1,700 years ago, in the year 325, the first ecumenical council was held there. That council shaped the entire structure of Christianity. The doctrine of the Trinity was formalized, the Nicene Creed was written, the date of Easter was unified, and the relationship between church and state was defined for the first time. Every major Christian tradition today, Catholic, Orthodox, Protestant, still recites the Nicene Creed born in that city. The Vatican planned this visit years in advance. Pope Francis himself coordinated it with the Patriarch of Constantinople back in 2023. And in his final written instructions before his death, he told the next pope to go in 2025 specifically, the exact anniversary year. That's why the new pope moved so quickly. He was literally carrying out the last request of his predecessor. But the deeper goal goes beyond commemoration. Since the 1960s, the Catholic and Orthodox churches have been slowly, cautiously moving toward dialogue and potential reconciliation. Not merging, not erasing differences, just reopening doors that were closed for nearly a millennium. And if unity or even partial unity is ever going to happen, it must begin where the division began. It must begin in Nicaea. It must begin in Istanbul, the seat of the Eastern Orthodox world. It must begin in Turkey. Turkey understood the symbolism. They received the Pope at the highest political level. They opened historic sites, including the Blue Mosque, for him to visit. But he declined to enter Hagia Sophia, now an active mosque again, something his predecessor openly lamented years earlier. Every gesture, every refusal, every location was part of a delicate, centuries-long dance between faith, politics, and memory. So the truth is this: the Pope wasn't visiting a country. He was visiting a moment, a 1700-year-old turning point in Christian history. He wasn't negotiating modern politics. He was walking back to the birthplace of Christian doctrine, hoping that what was united there once might, slowly, carefully, move toward unity again. In a world full of division, dialogue itself becomes a form of courage. And whether or not these efforts lead to full unity, they remind us of a deeper principle expressed in the Quran. We made you into nations and tribes so that you may know one another. May we always choose understanding over conflict. And may we be among those whom God honors with piety. Peace be upon you.